preparation for the game that's coming up, and in this case the Scarlets, do you watch their post-match interviews with, say, Rob Evans was up and Dwayne Peel was up? Have you seen those interviews?
As individuals, we don't really watch them as a team, obviously, but I think most of the lads would have seen it. The Rob Evans one, actually, Stu pulled that up today. It obviously stood out a little bit, and they're obviously hurting after what they felt was a lacklustre performance, so there's no doubt going to be a backlash this week.
That's what I was going to say then. Is it something, if you watch the whole match, do you wish Munster didn't play like that, and you wish that the Scarlets didn't play like that in terms of what you have to face now on Saturday?
Yeah, I suppose you'd like it to be the other way around, but look, it's not something we can control, so we just have to do our best and prepare accordingly so we can put our best performance out there on Saturday night.
And just finally, can I ask you about what it's like in the camp, in the Leinster camp this year? It's the first year that there won't be games, club games during the international window. How does that change the dynamic in terms of what's going on in training and the probability that players won't see as much game time, which would occur naturally if there was quick games going on? How does that change the dynamic?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think if you look at it from the perspective of the younger guys, it's a bit of a shame because obviously in years gone by, the younger guys would have got much more of a shot in those kind of breaks where there was obviously international games on. So from their perspective, it's a bit of a shame, but I think then bigger picture, there's obviously 3 or 4 weeks without a game, so there's a lot of chance to train and work on things that we've kind of spoke about, and a chance to improve, I suppose. So that's probably I would say the highlight of it.
Thanks, Jamison.
No worries, man. Cheers.
What happened against Dragons? Is that the response you were hoping to give as a whole against every last weekend?
Yeah, I suppose we were relatively happy. It was by no means perfect, but it was nice to be back in the RDS and in front of friends and family, and I think for the most part, yeah, as I say, we were relatively happy with the performance.
And for you, at scrum half, we're obviously waiting to hear about Harry Byrne's injury. He hasn't moved out of this weekend's game yet, but how do you feel behind the scenes his development is going? I mean, he's been unlucky with the injury and all the rest, but behind the scenes, how do you feel his development is going?
Yeah, well, Harry's great. He's an unbelievable talent, and he has a great eye for the game. I could tell that as soon as I trained with him, he's an unbelievable talent and sees the game very well, as I say. But yeah, as you touched on, just the few injuries he hasn't had a run of games to put it all together. So, which is a shame. But like we've seen it all in training. Everyone in Leinster knows how good he is. So it'll be nice to see him string a few games together and show the world what he can do, I suppose.
Yeah, we saw Andy Farr there at the game at the RDS. Like, is that coming into the back of the mind now as we approach closer to the November test? That these are really great opportunities for you, for you to try and impress Andy. Yeah,
absolutely. But as I always say, I think it's just most important we try to do the best thing for Leinster, and on the back of that, hopefully you'll give yourself the best chance. So yeah, that's all we're focusing on. I think the day to day here in Leinster.
Jamison, it's Don. With the new United Rugby Championship, do you feel rugby has gone up a notch? You've just given your limited play time.
Yeah, 100%. It's stiff competition, I feel, across the board now. Obviously, the South African guys were probably a little bit slow to start, but they played some better rugby over the weekend, and once teams have to travel down there and play, I think you'll see how tough it is. I've obviously had experience with that in Super Rugby, and I know how tough it can be to go there and play, so they'll definitely get a crack later on in the season. But I think, yeah, certainly across the board, the level of rugby has improved. Everyone had pretty good pre-seasons by the looks, and yeah, we've got a tough season ahead of us for sure.
And speaking of in the game, the number 9 jersey generally, you have Doak now up in Ulster, 2 Munster established, Marmy and Blade, McGrath, McCarthy, yourself. Do you think there's been a rise in the performances at the number 9?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely one of the more competitive positions, I'd say, at the moment. But in saying that, I think across the board as well, the competition for places is stiff and can only be good for the national, I suppose, setup. So hopefully we can see it relay into some good performances in the autumn.